Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Today the count is 39, including me. So, remaining students, whether they have seen a message or not, have you communicated the message to those students who are not attending the lectures? Because from now onwards, we are going to take a presentee in every lecture, and then if you are having less than 75%, then you are not allowed to fill up the form because whenever you're going to fill up the forms of examination, it will come, you will come to Tengeman no, for taking a sign. It will be problem for you people if you are not attending the lecture. Okay? So अगर ठेंगे मैम ने साइन नहीं किया तो आपका फॉर्म एक्सेप्ट ही नहीं होगा. सो बी रेडी विद दैट. आप ऐसे मत समझो कि अभी आपने एग्जाम फॉर्म भर दिया है तो इट्स ओके. सो यू आर गोइंग टू कलेक्ट द हॉल टिकट ना. सो अगर हॉल टिकट पे है या फिर आपके एग्जामिनेशन में अगर आप 75% प्रेजेंट ही नहीं होगा, सो वी कैन डू दैट. ओके, आपका हॉल टिकट या जो जनरेट नहीं होगा या फिर एनी अदर प्रॉब्लम. ओके, सो टेल योर फ्रेंड्स टू अटेंड द लेक्चर रेगुलरली. Now let us go for the next concept where I think we have started with the closed set. Any doubt up to the last lectures?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now let us go for the next point, that is the next property of the closed set we are going to see. The property is let x2 let x2 be a T space. Let F complement be the open set. We have F complement is a open set given to us. Then F is a closed set. Then we have to prove that F is a closed set in X2. Okay, what is our aim to prove that in this case? In the last lecture, we have proved as F is a closed set, we have proved the theorem that F complement is open. Okay, right? We have proved if F is a closed set, and we have proved that F complement is a open set by writing a F complement with the union of all singleton etc. Okay, now let us go for proving that F is a closed set. To prove that F is a closed set, it is the meaning is what we have to say that derived set of F is contained in F. Okay, right now this is what the definition of a closed set. Right, what do you mean by a closed set? It contains all its limit point. That means derived set of F is contained in F. Now, if I want to prove that derived set of F is contained in F, to prove derived set of F is a subset of F. If I want to prove any set to be subset of other set, what I have to do, I have to take an element from that subset. Suppose I want to prove A is a subset of B. I will take one element X belongs to A, and then I will prove that that element also belongs to B. Right? So X was arbitrary element from A, and we have proved that that arbitrary element belongs to B. That means every element from A, if I am going to take, that will be an element of a B, right? But here in this case, as we are not knowing what is a derived set of F and what is F, and actually we are not knowing what is X also, right? So it is not provided that X is a set of natural number or X is a set of integer like that. Okay, we are simply want to prove that derived set of F is a subset of F. Usually, if I want to prove any set to be a subset of another set, I have to take an arbitrary element and then with some of the properties, I will prove that X is an element of that superset, and then it will be result in that A is a subset of B. But here in this case, as we are not knowing what are the sets and all, so let us assume if possible, that means we are going to prove this result with the help of a contradiction, that if possible, let us assume that derived set of F is not a subset of F. Okay, what do you mean by not a subset? Yes, The subset definition is every element of A will be an element of B. What do you mean by not a subset?
X is element of uh, derived set of F, but X is not element of F.
Yes, that means as we are saying that for a subset, every element of A is an element of B. But here in this case, for not a derived, not a subset, we should have at least one element. There exists an element X belongs to derived set of F. But what is the condition? X is not an element of F, right? So if every element of this set, if it's an element of this, it means that this derived set of F is a subset of F. But we element which is an element of derived set of F, but it is not an element of F. Okay, this is what we are going to prove the result with the help of a contradiction. Now, what the result tells us about the derived set? If X is an element of derived set of F, it means that X is a limit point of F. Now, let us use the definition of a limit point. Okay, what is the definition for the limit point? Hmm.
G intersection F minus singleton X is not equal to phi.
For all open set G containing X, G intersection F minus singleton X is not equal to phi, right? So we have the condition that G intersection F minus singleton X is non-empty. Okay. So as we know that, what we know that X is not an element of F. Right? If X is not an element of F, obviously can I say that X is an element of F complement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. X is an element of a F complement, and what is given to us? We are provided that F complement is open set, and what is our aim to prove that? We have to prove F is a closed set. This is given that F complement is open set. So F complement is a guaranteed open set which contains X. Correct? Here, what we are saying for the definition of a limit point for all open set G containing X. But what is a guaranteed open set which contains X is F complement. So instead of writing G, can I write the same statement with F complement intersection with F minus singleton X is non-empty. Is it okay?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Because this is what a guaranteed open set which contains X. Now, what is a intersection of a set with its complement?
Phi.
Empty.
Phi.
Empty set. Okay, empty set intersection this minus I can convert this as a intersection with complement of X which is not equal to phi. Okay, so empty set intersection with any set, what is the resultant? Empty set is not equal to empty set. So here I am getting the contradiction. This contradiction arises due to the wrong assumption. What was the wrong assumption? If possible, derived set of F is not a subset of a F. So what will be the correct assumption? Derived set of F is a subset of F. And hence, we have proved that here with the help of a contradiction, we have proved that derived set of F is a subset of F, and hence F is a closed set by definition. Okay. What the definition tells us, derived set of F must be a subset of F if then only F is a closed set, and F is a closed set, it means that derived set of F is a contained in F. Definitions are always if and only if. Okay. So what I can write for the remark from the last two properties, if F is a closed set, right, in X2, if and only if F complement is open set. Correct now? Because we have proved this in two parts. In the first part, we have proved that if F is a closed set, F complement is open set. In this lecture, we have proved F complement is open means that F is a closed set. So I can have a remark that means this statement I can write with the help of if and only if, right? If you are having a closed set, then its complement must be an open set. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Let us go for the next point, that is we are going to have some another definition. That means we have just now seen the definition of open set. Open set we have defined with the help of a neighborhood in case of a real analysis, but in the topology we have given with the help of a sphere and all. In metric space also we have defined the open set. And what is a topology? Topology we have defined with the help of three things. One is what we have defined with the help of open set, or we have defined with the help of neighborhood, also with the help of a closed set. But generally in whole paper for topology, in we are going to assume tau as a collection of all the open sets. Okay, now as we have seen the definition of a closed set, derived set and all, so let me have the collection of all the closed set. The collection of all the closed set we are going to denote it by K, and collection of all the open sets we are going to denote it by tau. Okay, what is tau? Tau is a family of the all the open sets. Okay, family. Tau is what? A family of the open sets. And what is K? We will denote K as a family of a closed set. Okay, now let us see what are the differences, right? As we know that we have already defined what is stored with the help of that four properties, that phi belongs to X and all. Okay, but how you are going to define the K? Okay, can anyone tell me what will be K definition of a family of a closed set? By the last remark, you have to
First,
define. What was our
first two
remark?
properties will be same as that of tau, and third will be arbitrary union, and fourth will be finite intersection of closed sets.
Right, that is okay. But how you are going to define the closed set? Family of a closed set कैसे denote करोगे आप? With the help of this simple remark, you can go for the definition of a K. Okay, what is K? K is what? A family of a closed set. So how I am going to denote the family of a closed set?
Tau complement, F
No, it is not
complement
into
after that.
complement. Set of always the midpoint. Yes, you are right, but actually we cannot write the tau complement. We can write the thing that A complement such that A is a member of a tau. That means complements of members of tau. So what is the member of tau? Tau is an collection of all the open sets. So if A is a member of tau, it means that A is an open set. What do you mean by A complement? If just now we have proved the remark that if F is a closed set, F complement is an open set. So if in topology, if we are having any set to be a open set, its complement must be a closed set. So what is K family? K is nothing but the complements of collection of all the open set. Open set में जो मतलब आपके टो में जो भी एलिमेंट है उसका अगर आप कॉम्प्लीमेंट लोगे तो आपको K मिल जाएगा, right? Okay, let me go about the example so that you can understand. Let us have one example. X is equals to say elements A, comma B, comma C, and let us have 2 is equals to 5x and singleton A. Okay, now how we are going to have a family K? It is nothing but the complements of members of tau, because every member of tau is an open set. By the last remark, we have proved if we are having A to be an open set, its complement is closed. Okay, इथे आपण असं लिहिलंय ना, F is closed, its complement is open. But here we have to write in a different way, right? If A is a member of 2, its complement must be a closed set, right? If A is a open set, A complement is a closed set. This statement we can write in another way, that if A is a open set, I can say that the complement of A is a closed set. Okay, the same statement we can write in another way. So here we have written the family K as complements of members of two. What are members of two? They are open set. Now how you are going to write down family K in this example?
Complement of phi is x, complement of x is phi, and complement of A is BC.
Okay, so that is what a family K. So I will write this as complement of phi is x, and this is phi, and this is what B comma C. Okay, so now can you write what is family K in case of a indiscrete space? What will be the case of family K in indiscrete
Same
space?
as that of 2.
Right. Phi is x, complement of x is phi. Let us go for the next one, that is discrete space. Right. Here we are not knowing what is x and all. We are not knowing what is a power set x. Now, can you say that the family K is again power set of x in case of a discrete space? Okay, let me go for the simple example. Let x is equals to a comma b. We'll take a smaller set, and let tau is equals to power set of x. That means if we are in the case of a discrete topological space, yes, can anyone tell me what will be tau in this case if I am writing it as a discrete topological space?
Phi x singleton A singleton B.
Okay. Okay, so this is what a power set of x. How to write the power set of x? To whatever may be the elements will be 2 raised to 2. That means whatever may be the elements in is 2 raised to n, that is 2 raised to 2, that is 4 element. Now what will be family K? Complements of members of 2. Okay, what is the complement of phi? X. Complement of x is phi. Complement of A is B. Complement of B is A. So whether K is nothing but your power set of x?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So for discrete topological space, can I write the remark? What will be the remark for the discrete topological space? We can say that for a case of a discrete topological space, if 2 is equal to power set of x, again K is also equal to power set of x. So family K and tau both are same in case of discrete and indiscrete space. In the indiscrete space also, family tau and K both are same because we are having only two open set, but that are already closed set. Phi and x are always open and closed. But in case of discrete space also, we are getting 2 is nothing but power set of x, which is nothing but your family of the closed set. That I have shown you with a simple example. You can go for the many more example if you are having any arbitrary set with 100 elements. So whatever may be the power set of x. Power set of x क्या होता है? It is nothing but the collection of all the subsets of x. Okay, सब अगर आप सभी सबसेट लेकर आपका एक सेट बना रहे हो पावर सेट ऑफ एक्स, दैट मीन्स इट कंटेन्स ऑल इट्स कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स नो. अगर आपके पास सिंगलटन ही एक एलिमेंट है पावर सेट ऑफ एक्स में, so we are having this complement. What will be the complement of a b, which is again a subset of x? So what is power set of x? It is nothing but collection of all the subsets of x. Okay, so if we are collecting all the subsets of x in power set of x, there is no need to go for the family of a closed set, because it is nothing but your उसमें जो भी आपके एलिमेंट होंगे उसका कॉम्प्लीमेंट उसी सेट में होगा, बराबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so in the very simple example, we can show that family K and tau both are same in case of a discrete and indiscrete space. Now let us go for some of the properties of the closed set. That you already know that phi is a closed set. The second property you know is X is a closed set, and next one we have to prove is the third one we have to prove if A and B are closed set, then we have to prove that their union is also a closed set. Okay, now if I want to prove this property phi is a closed set, how you are going to prove this property? With the help of this definition. Okay, can I write this? X is a member of tau, S is an open set. So complement of X must be a member of a K. Okay, X complement is 5, so that's why it is a member of a K. Right? By definition.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, X is what? It is not nothing but the complement of 5, so it is a member of K. And what do we write here? Phi is a member of 2, its complement must be a member of a K. So what is K? K is nothing but the collection of all the complements of members of 2. Okay, whatever may be the member of 2. If I am having X is a member of 2, phi is a member of 2, its complement must be a member of a K. Now what is the third property we want to prove is if A and B both are the closed sets, that means they belongs to K, we have to prove that their union A union B is also a member of a K. This result we have already proved for the open sets. Okay. ओपन सेट्स के लिए हम क्या प्रूव करते हैं phi x the next one the third property we prove they are closed under an intersection and we prove that they are closed under the arbitrary union. So here we have to prove the different one that is exactly opposite of each other. We have to prove that it is closed under the union. Okay, how to prove this? Yes, can anyone tell me how to prove that A union B belongs to K?
Using De Morgan's law.
Okay. If I want to use that, where you are going to use? No doubt you have told it is correct, but we have to start something, ना? क्या दिया है हमें A and B are the family of K. If A and B belongs to K, can I write A complement and B complement belongs to tau? That
Yes,
means
ma'am.
A complement and B complement are nothing but the members of tau. Then only their complement. Complement of complement is a set itself. No? A complement, its complement is a set itself. So here I can write this A complement and B complements are the member of tau. Now, what do you mean by A complement, B complement are member of tau? I can say that they are
Intersection.
the open sets. Okay, so what is the property of being an open set or being a member of tau? It is closed under the finite intersection. It is closed under finite intersection means what? A complement intersection with B complement is also a open set, or rather I can write it is a member of a tau, because we know that the third property of a being a topological space is what? It is closed under finite intersection. So this one I can write with the help of De Morgan's law that A union B complement. Is it okay? Is
Yes, ma'am.
one set. Or I can say it is a member of tau. So we can write this A union B complement is a member of tau. That's why we can write A union B is a member of a K. If this complement is a member of tau, obviously A union B is a member of a K. Or you can write A union B, its complement is a member of a K. Complement remove हो जाएगा, आपके पास सिर्फ A union B ही बचेगा, right? So if we can say what we have to start with, if A and B are member of K, we have to write that A complement, B complements are the members of tau because of the definition of our tau or K. So if the A complement and B complements are member of tau, we know the third property of a topological space. That means they must be closed under the finite intersection, and then we are going to use a De Morgan's law, and then we have the property or the by definition of a K. What is K? It is complements of members of tau. If a complement this whole set's complement is a member of tau, this whole set will be a member of a K. So here we have proved that it is closed under the finite union. Now let us prove the next result, that is the fourth one we have to prove. Okay, before that I can write this result is true for finite. That is A complement intersection. We have to take a different set or in the way A. Okay, let me take it as A1, A2. Okay, let us take A1, A2, A3 and so on. We can have the result is A1 union, A2 union and so on. An belongs to K. If A1, A2, A3 all are the members of K, then we can extend the result for the finite union of a closed set is a closed set. Now let us go for the fourth one. What is the fourth property? We have to prove that arbitrary intersection of a closed set is a closed set. Let us select A alpha from the family K. Okay, A alpha from family K. What is alpha? Alpha belongs to the index set. What is index set? Index set is nothing but the set of natural numbers. Okay, so which are countable in number. So here we have first collected A lambdas from family K. Right? We have collected A lambdas from family K. By definition of a K, I can write this as A alpha. Its complements are the members of tau. But what is the fourth property of a being a topological space? By the fourth property of a topological space, I can write that union of all A alpha complements are the member of a tau where alpha belongs to the index set. Why I am writing this fourth property? That is arbitrary union of a open set is open set. What is A alpha complement? It is a open set. So you can write here if A alpha are the members of K, I can say A alpha complements are the members of a tau, or we can say they are the open sets. If A alpha complements are the open sets, we can write the union of all A alpha complements are the members of tau. So now how you are going to prove the result? If I want to prove that intersection of A alpha belongs to K. If this is a member of tau, can I write this as A alpha complement? Its whole complement is a member of K.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So complement of complement, what will be the resultant? Yes. What you can say here?
Intersection of A alpha.
Right. Again, this De Morgan's law we are going to use. This is what A alpha complement is a member of a alpha, because complement will be removed. The intersection of A alpha will be now a member of a K. So we have started with what we have started with. We have started with the set of all A alphas belongs to K. That is, we are having many number of a closed set, and we have to prove that the intersection of arbitrary intersection of a closed set is a closed set. Okay. Simply we have to use a definition of open sets and closed set, use a properties of a complement or De Morgan's law, and then we can prove this result. Okay, any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, if not, let us have the comparison between the two families, the family tau and the key. So what is there in this? We have to say that phi is a open set. Here we can say phi is a closed set. Okay, here we can say it is phi is open set. The second property we can compare is X is a open, but here we have to say X is a closed set. The next one we can say that it is closed under finite intersection, but this family is a closed under a finite union. And what is the fourth property? Arbitrary union of open sets is open set, and here we can change the property that arbitrary intersection of a closed set is a closed set. Okay. So this is what the comparison, and if you want to write down the definition of a topological space with the help of a closed set, this is what a definition. And if you want to go for the definition with the open set, this is what a definition. Okay. Now let us go for examples of the closed set. That means firstly we'll prove one result before having the example. We are provided with X2 is a T space, and we have to prove that we are having let E be the any subset of X. To prove that, what is our aim to prove that E union derived set of E is closed set. I hope you are knowing what is E union derived set of E.
Closure.
Yes, closure. We have to prove that E union derived set of E is a closed set. We have to prove this result. So we have been provided that X2 is a T space, and simply we are given that E is any subset of X, and what is our aim to prove? It is closed set. To prove that E union derived set of E is a closed set, that is to prove that E union derived set of E, its complement is open. Okay, so as we are in topological space, it is easy to prove the open sets because we are knowing what are the members of two and all. So is any subset of X. With the help of that, we have to simply given that X2 is a T space is any subset of X. We have to prove that E union derived set of E, its complement is a open set. Okay, if I want to prove this to be open set, let us again take the help of the thing that as we don't know what is X, what is E, what is derived set of E, we don't know anything. So that's why again I will say we can write the members of E union derived set of E, its complement as a union of all the X such that X belongs to E union derived set of E, its complement. Is it okay? Because any set we can write with the help of a union of all the singleton X. Just like set of natural number, set of real number, or set of integer, everything you can write with the help of union of all the singleton X. As we don't know what is set itself, we are writing E union derived set of E, its complement is written as a union of all the singleton X, where every X is a member of E union derived set of E, its complement. Okay, so let me denote it as say equation 1. Let us take the element from this X belongs to E union derived set of E, its complement. Okay, what do you mean by it belongs to complement? It means that X is not a member of a E union derived set of E. Okay? Have we understood up to this?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Let us go for the next one. What do you mean by not a member of a union? It is not a member of any set. अगर यूनियन में नहीं है मतलब वो किसी भी सेट में नहीं है. Because to be a member of union, it is a eligibility that you should be a member of at least one set. अगर आप किसी एक सेट में भी हो तो आप यूनियन में definitely. So if you want to say that if X is not an element of union, I can say that X is not an element of E as well as X is not an element of derived set of E. Okay, but this is different case in case if you are saying that X is a member of E union derived set of E. If X is a member of E union derived set of E, I can say X is belonging to E, or I can say X is belonging to derived set of E. Right, because for the union it is or, but if I am saying that X is not a member of union, it is not a member of both the sets. Okay, now let us again use the definition. What is the definition? X does not belong to derived set of E means that X is not a limit point. So, what is the definition of a not a limit point? There exists an open set G such that G intersection E minus singleton X is equal to 5. Right. So there are two possibilities again. This G intersection E is either an empty set or it is a singleton X. Then only the resultant is empty. Now we are provided that what we have been provided, X is not a member of E as well as X is not a member of a derived set E. So we can use this statement here. If X is not a member of E, how it can be a member of an intersection? Because if I want to write G intersection E is a singleton X, which means that X is a member of both the set. But we know X is not a member of E. If X is not a member of E, it means that it is not a member of a intersection. So what is possibility from both the possibilities? We can select one possible thing that G intersection E is equal to empty set. Right? G intersection E is equal to empty set. So we can write now, what we can write is G is contained in E complement. Let me denote it as some equation 2. If I am having this possibility G intersection E is 5, can I write with the same thing as G intersection derived set of E is also empty set? Yes, what I have written. What is the possibility from these two things? G intersection E is an empty set. Can I write with the help of G intersection E is empty set? I can write this G intersection derived set of E is also empty set.
Yes, ma'am.
Why this is so? Let me show you in short why this is possible, right? The intersection derived set of E. Okay, let me write down here. G intersection derived set of E is also empty since we have G intersection E is a empty set. So proving this to be non-empty, whether it is true or not, let us assume that it is non-empty. If it is non-empty, which means that X is a member of a G intersection derived set of E. Okay, if X is a member of a G and X is a member of intersection means what? X is a member of a derived set of E, which means that X is a limit point. That means for all open set G containing X, there exists an open set such that G intersection E minus singleton X is non-empty. Okay, but which is a contradiction. Why this is a contradiction? Because we have G intersection E is empty. हे प्रूव केलेत ना आपण G intersection E हे empty आहे, right? So here I can write G intersection E is empty minus singleton X is non-empty, which means that we are having the result empty is not equal to empty. So this is what a contradiction. So hence I have आपण directly पण लिहू शकतो इथे. Okay, with the help of G intersection E is empty, so we can write directly G intersection derived set of E is also empty. Just now I have shown you that why it is empty, right? So with the help of contradiction, you can say that this is equal to 5, right? So can I write from this statement as G is contained in derived set of E, its complement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me name it as some equation 3. What is our equation 1 and 2? So let me go for the equation 2. What is our equation 2? G is contained in E complement and we have written G is contained in derived set of E complement. If G is contained in E complement as well as it is contained in derived set of E complement, whether I can write G is contained in E complement intersection derived set of E complement, because if it is a member of both the set, obviously it will be a member of the intersections. So again, using De Morgan's law, I can write E union derived set of E, its complement. Okay. So what is our equation 1? Let us go for our equation 1. What is our equation 1? E union derived set of E, its complement is nothing but collection of all the singleton x. Right? So now here we have the thing that x is a member of a G, because G is open set. Now x is a member of G which is contained in E union derived set of E complement. So firstly, what we have written here in the equation 1, what was our equation 1 is E union derived set of E, its complement we have written with the help of union of all the singleton x, right? So now if I am writing again the same statement with the help of union of all singleton x, so instead of writing x, I can write this as union of all the singleton x. X belongs to E union derived set of E, its complement, which is contained in union of all G such that x belongs to the same set. Okay, which is contained in E union derived set of E, its complement. Okay, so can I write directly this as, हे काय होता तुमचा इक्वेशन 1 आहे, right? So I can write this as E union derived set of E, its complement which is contained in this set, which is contained in this. So hence we have proved A is a subset of B, B is a subset of A. So hence we can write E union derived set of E, its complement is equal to union of all G such that X is a member of this E union derived set of E, its complement. So what we have collected, G is a open set containing X. So if G is a member of two, union of all G is also a member of two by the property of a topological space. Arbitrary union of a members of two is a open set. So if I am saying that union of all G is a open set, obviously this will be also an open set.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So hence we have proved the result that E union derived set of E, its complement is a open set, which means that E union derived set of E is a closed set. Okay. So what we have started with, let us see. What is our aim to prove that? We have to prove that E union derived set of E is a closed set. That is to prove that their complement is an open set. To prove complement is open set is easier. So hence we have written the complement in the form of a singleton X. Now if we have taken an element from E union derived set of E, its complement. So if it is a member of a complement, obviously it is not a member of a that set. That is, X is not a member of E union derived set of E. What do you mean by not a member of a union? It means that it is not a member of both the sets. If it is not a member of both the set, we have to just use a definition of a not a limit point, and then we have to have a possibility of empty set or X. But it is not equal to singleton X since X is not a member of a E. If X is not a member of E, obviously it is not a member of a intersection, and hence G intersection E equal to phi is a possibility. And hence we have an equation to G is contained in E complement. So from the equation G intersection E is equal to phi, we can write G intersection derived set of E is equal to phi. So hence we can write G is contained in derived set of E complement. So let us write from the equation 1 and 2. If G is contained in both the sets, I can write G is contained in their intersection, and just use a De Morgan's law and use the condition that X is a member of G, G is contained in E union derived set of E, its complement. Just take the union on both sides since we have selected X to be a member of E union derived set of E, its complement, and hence we have proved that both the sets are equal. That is, A is subset of B, B is a subset of A. And hence, if I am saying that G is a member of a tau, I can say that arbitrary union of a members of tau is a member of tau, and hence This is what all the union of G is a open set. Hence, A union derived set of E is a open set. That's why E union derived set of E is a closed set. Okay. Yes. Any doubt for this?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Let me go for the next one. Now this is somewhat confusing. Let X2 be a T space. And then we have to show that E union derived set of E is the smallest closed set so that E union derived set of E is the smallest closed set containing E. Have you understood what is our aim to prove? काय प्रूव्ह करायचं आहे? Okay. We have to prove that E union derived set of E is a closed set containing E. But by previous theorem, what we can write? E union derived set of E is a closed set. E तर कंटेन करतोच ना ऑलरेडी. E union derived set of E. E मध्ये E is contained in E union derived set of E. E union derived set of E we have already proved by last theorem. By previous theorem, we can say that E union derived set of E is closed set. But simply we have to prove that it is the smallest closed set containing E. Okay, how to prove any set to be a smallest set containing that a set? How to prove this? कुठलाही सेट हे स्मॉलेस्ट क्लोज सेट आहे ते E ला कंटेन करणार. Okay. To prove it is the smallest, let us assume that let us have F be another closed set which contains E, right? On the condition we can write E is a subset of F. Okay, this is what is another closed set which is containing E. Now we have to prove that E union derived set of E is the smallest one. That is to prove that I have to prove that E union derived set of E is the smallest closed set containing E, which means that we have to prove that F is larger than E union derived set of E. Are you getting me what I am saying?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
हे E union derived set हे स्मॉलेस्ट क्लोज सेट आहे E कंटेन करणारा असं प्रूव्ह करायचं. त्यासाठी आपण काय केलं, दुसरा एक क्लोज सेट घेतला ते E ला कंटेन करणार. ओके, we are taking one more closed set which contains E, but what is our aim to prove? This is a smaller one. As given that, what is given that E is a subset of F. So by the property of a derived set, I can write derived set of E is containing derived set of F. Okay, let me name this equation 1. This is what equation 2. Since we know that F is a closed set, okay, since F is a closed set, what do you mean by a closed set? By definition of a closed set, I can write derived set of F is a contained in F. So this statement I can write it as derived set of E is contained in derived set of F, which is contained in F. So hence, can I write directly this as derived set of E is contained in F? Okay, so let me name it as say equation number 3. What is our equation 1? E is contained in F. What is our equation 3? Derived set of E is contained in F. Right? If this is also in F, if this is also in F, can I write this as E union derived set of E is also in F?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hence the result, that is F हे एक दूसरा क्लोज सेट घेतला होता ना जे E ला कंटेन करणार होता, but this is what the smallest closed set containing E. Okay, F हे एक दूसरा क्लोज सेट होता जे E ला कंटेन करणार होता, but here we have proved that E union derived set of E is a subset of F itself. So hence we can say that E union derived set of E is the smallest closed set containing E. Okay, why we are taking this result? Because in the next lecture we are going to see the next definition, that is a closure. Okay, in the closure property is related to smallest closed set itself. So hence we have proved this result. Any doubt for this one? Simply we have to take some another set F which contains E, but F is a closed set. By that property, this property is very important, and hence we can say E we have selected to be a subset of F, and derived set of E is also subset of F. Hence we can say their union is also a subset of a F. Okay. Let us end the lecture today. In the next lecture, we will go for the definition of a closure of a set. If you have a doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, we'll end the meeting.